What's
What's up,
up?
Lions Nation? What is going on? I know I seem a little bit too happy to be here today, but I am. I am happy. We're gonna talk about that game yesterday, Stat Man. Oof. Ah. But
Yeah, it was a
first,
tough it was a tough
but
loss, but it's a learning experience for all these young guys on the team, and especially on our offensive line. They need to fix some things.
yeah, I mean, we're gonna. I got all the stats, everything pulled up. We're gonna dive into it. We're gonna take a little deep dive into yesterday's game, but first off, I want to thank everybody that's already in here. Thank you guys so much. The comments should be working today. So go ahead, throw a comment in there. Dar, if you're in here, I would like you to do me a favor and let me know if this is on Facebook right now live as well, because I haven't seen anything on Facebook. So I want to make sure it's streaming over there too. What's up, Dar? We got Dar in the house. Steven's in the house. What's up, Steven? So thank you to everybody that's been subscribing. We are on that march to 500. I believe we're at 244 now. I forgot to change that today, but we're at 244 subscribers on that way to 500. And thank you to everybody over on TikTok that has been liking our videos and clips that we've been making. We appreciate that. Getting a lot of feedback and a lot of interaction over there and on YouTube as well. So thank you guys so much for all your support. And like always, just let all your Lions friends know that we are out here and bringing you guys good Lions content. So Statman, not quite the game that we were expecting, I don't think, but let's get your initial thoughts on it.
It wasn't the game that I was kind of expecting. I expected us to win, obviously, but I also expected struggles in the offensive line without Ragnow in there, seeing how Glasgow steps in as that leader position on the offensive line, and then Tate Ratledge on the right guard spot. And you've seen it throughout the game. That center of our offensive line was struggling on keeping pressure off Goff. And if you notice towards the end, Micah Parsons was lining up over the center almost every snap.
Yep.
They figured out it was the kind of the hole in that offensive line, that armor we used to have last year. Our offensive line was stout last year, and this year you can definitely see a fall off. But Hank Fraley, I believe in him. He's our offensive lines coach, and I'm sure he'll have him ready against Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the game, we get our defense out there first. Right away, the Packers were able to pass the ball pretty easily on us. Terry and Arnold, not on his guys, a lot of distance between him and the receivers. There was definitely some struggles. I don't know what more to say. There was struggles all around the on both sides of the ball. It didn't look good. It didn't. The Packers looked like they were ready to play, like they were for sure, and the Lions did not look like they were ready to go.
Basically, it just looked dysfunctional on our side. Defense, offense, special teams, even. There was crucial penalties that hurt us in certain situations where we could have gotten the ball back, or where we could have pinned Packers deep in their own territory on a punt. Just mental errors. And if anybody knows Dan Campbell over the last couple of years, he does not like that very much. And I guarantee he'll have it fixed before Chicago comes around.
That Steven Erickson says the Lions had zero energy. Yeah, I mean, for this team to come out and do absolutely nothing was mind blowing. The only highlight of that entire game was the Tesla touchdown at the end. Like
Hey,
that was it.
and I like to see Tesla out there showing off his skill set there. That one handed grab was something else.
I mean, is it that? And you could see it. I mean, before I even say what I was going to say, you can see the offensive line struggles big time. I mean, the one play when Montgomery got the handoff, I think we were on the 1 yard line or 2 yard line on our own our own one or two, the center just completely went the wrong way. Left a huge wide open space. Like that's something that cannot happen. That's a big mistake right there.
My coach,
Right.
when I played offensive line, always told me, if you don't have your hands on somebody, you're not doing your job right as an offensive line.
Yeah, there should be never a time on the offensive line where you have that big of a space and you're running around with nothing to do. You know what I mean, like that. But even when the offensive line was blocking, we couldn't run, we couldn't pass. There was no time for Jared Goff to make any throws. Yeah, they look like they just were not ready to go yet. And it's that brings me to a question. I was thinking about this yesterday. I know that there's a big thing with as far as starters getting hurt in the preseason. Like nobody wants to see that, right? But not getting any reps, is that good for them? Or should the starters have gotten more reps?
I guess it depends on the philosophy of the coaches themselves. In my personal opinion, I think it's nice to have the players fresh to go, like fresh and ready, have the practice in the preseason. But
And to your point, the preseason, I'm sure that a lot of those linemen had some playing time. So and in my opinion, the struggles last night on both sides, I don't think the defensive line played very well either. To be honest, the defensive backs played horrible all around. It was not a good game.
well, I gotta say, in the run game, we played pretty decent.
It wasn't. I was gonna correct. It wasn't bad. I think Jacobs was able to start breaking out towards the end of the game, but in the beginning we were doing all right against him.
And then what I seen is we weren't getting pressure on Jordan Love. That has to do with a few things. Not blitzing enough. Like obviously, if your front four is not getting in there and getting the pressure you need to at least get Jordan Love to try to rush his throws, you got to start throwing a blitz here or there. But by the time that Kelvin Shepard, it seemed like he wanted to start blitzing him, it was just we were already behind in the game. So it was just, I don't know. I feel like you need to do it early and often.
Now, there's a lot of talk out there already. You're going to have those fans. They're already out there talking, get rid of Dan Campbell, get rid of the offense and defensive coordinator. These coordinators suck, all that chat. Look, I ain't about that at all. I don't think that you can go off of one game and make any kind of decision or any kind of judgment like that. In my opinion, that's my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own. But I just don't. Maybe they just need a little more time to get it rolling. You know.
My opinion matches with Alex Anzalone. Those people aren't very intelligent.
Nope. And you're always going to have them. You're always going to have fans like that. And there was comments of maybe Dan Campbell can't do it without his other coordinators, without our last coordinators, the holy mackerel. But either way, I think he can. I think he's plenty capable of it. Dan Campbell's not the one out on the field playing. The players blew their assignments. They blew their coverages. They did not play well. The players did not play well. And that showed yesterday.
And I also go with what Hutchinson said. He said in a press conference that they play their best when people doubt them. So he felt like there was a lot of expectations coming into the year, and they were favored to run the table on everybody. And now they got punched in the mouth first game of the season. So he said it's a good feeling, and he thinks that we're going to bounce back better than ever. So I just want to see.
Just want to catch up here real quick, stat man. Dar said should have played our starters more in preseason. They needed the practice, and then he said we played great against the run till the end of the game. So right on board with what we were saying. Go ahead. Sorry to cut you off. I just don't want to get too far behind.
I just feel like we're hungry. We're a hungry team. And Dan Campbell, I mean, he's always preached the whole kneecap biting. Like, we're going to get knocked down. We're going to get right back up, take off a chunk of your kneecap. You know, that's our mentality. It's that grit that our team strives off of. So I see us coming back. I see us handling Chicago pretty well.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, seeing what we saw yesterday, it did kind of throw me off a little bit. I can't lie and sit here and say that I wasn't expecting more, because you go from what we've had to that, it just kind of blew my mind a little bit. You
Well,
know what I
obviously,
mean?
and that goes along with the expectations thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's expecting the Lions to be the exact same as last year. Obviously, we lose people. Obviously, we get new people that start. Obviously, there's a lot of missing pieces and new pieces, and you got to combine it all together and keep it all together. And first game of the season is always going to be rough. Usually, when you get new pieces and new coordinators, it's just a continuity thing. They'll get it together, though.
Yeah, and to think that was just what I was going to say, and to think that they're going to go into this next week, coming into the next game, and not work on all that stuff. Yeah, right. Dan Campbell's going to be on top of that. He's probably already is, and I'm expecting. I guess expecting is a good word. That they're going to come out next week and play a lot better, and they'll have some of those problems and issues fixed.
It's a long season. We got 16 games left. 16. I'd rather lose early in the year and fix everything that we need to fix now than lose at the end of the year when it counts.
Yeah, and to win them all, I mean, come on. There's a lot of good teams out there. There's a good chance that we're going to lose some games. That happens, but I think we have talented players, and I still think we have a talented team. And I am not taking this game as, oh, same old Lions. I'm not doing that. It's one game, 1 week.
Exactly.
Dar says the Packers just had our number. We kicked their ass the last 3 years. We did, and we get to play them again. And maybe next time it won't be so pretty for them.
And it'll be at Ford Field, and that's our first road loss. I mean, all last year we were undefeated on the road.
Yeah.
All three of our losses were at home.
I mean, Statman, this is the NFL, right? You cannot go into every season. You want to expect the same thing, but when there are changes, especially in the coaching department, there's definitely going to be some time where there has to be adjustments. That's the first live real game. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to worry too soon. You get into 5 games, 6 games, and we're not doing anything, I think you start throwing some concern out there, but something's got to be done. But right now, 1 week, come on.
And trust me, there's plenty of so-called fans that are out there bashing Dan Campbell, bashing John Morton, bashing Kelvin Shepard, bashing Aiden Hutchinson, bashing Jared Goff, bashing everybody in the organization. Those people aren't true fans. They don't know the game of football. They don't know about certain things. And they should probably just give up or find another team to bandwagon, because we don't want you as our fan. We don't want you part of our group. So,
an example of this, and something that I loved, if you're a fan, you stick with your team. Last night, just to go to this game quick, the Bills-Baltimore Ravens game, the Bills were down and a ton of people left. The Bills pulled off one of the awesome comebacks that I've seen in a while against the Ravens, won that game, and Josh Allen put those fans on blast. Like, you guys shouldn't have left, maybe you should have stuck around. And that's what true fans do. They stick around no matter what. And those people that are blasting the Lions right away, right out of the bat, they don't know shit. They do not know shit.
right there with you.
Uncle Logan, Lily says hi.
Hi, Lily. Thank you for watching.
Now, before I throw the stats up real quick, I just want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, share the podcast out. We appreciate all you guys and all of our subscribers. So the game stats, I have them going they're on the bottom of the screen there. You guys can see those. Let's see here. Passing, Jared Goff was 31 for 39, 225 yards, one touchdown, one INT. Rushing, Montgomery led the way with 11 carries and 25 yards, no touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 9 carries for 19 yards. Jamison Williams had 1 carry for 3 yards. Receiving, Sam Laporta, 6 receptions for 79 yards. It was nice to see Laporta. I will say that. It was nice to see Laporta get back into it, especially in the first game of the season. St. Brown, 4 for 45. Jahmyr Gibbs had 10 receptions for 31 yards. Williams, 4 receptions for 23 yards. Briefly, I'll talk about the defense. Campbell led the way in tackles with 5. Then you had Derek Barnes with 4, Brian Branch with 4, DJ Reed with 4. No INTs, no turnovers, which we said in the pregame was going to be a big thing to get pressure on Jordan Love to create turnovers. We did not do that. A side note, Aiden Hutchinson, not very productive in that game. No tackles. This team stats, we had total yards. The Lions had 246, the Packers 266, passing yards 200 for the Lions, 188 for the Packers. Rushing yards 46 for the Lions and 78 for the Packers. Yards per play 3.8 and 5.7. First downs, let's see. Third down efficiency, the Lions were 5 for 15, and on fourth down, the Lions were 3 for 4. Total plays, the Lions had more plays than it took them many more plays to get down the field. When they did get down the field, it was field goals. 4 sacks allowed by our offensive line. We had 3 punts and 7 penalties for 40 yards. Time possession, the Lions had more time possession with 35 minutes and 25 seconds. That's the stats breakdown for the game. As far as the team stats go, Statman, what's sticking out to you?
Rushing yards. We were one of the top rushing teams in the league last year and one of the top against the run. And that just shows you that our offensive line just isn't the same. It has nothing to do with the scheme or the coaching. It has everything to do with the players and their blocking assignments. You've seen a lot of these running plays. Gibbs had to make something out of nothing. There was twice where he could have lost yards on a couple plays, and he had to make something happen to get yards. And I also think that it will benefit us if they give Montgomery the starting running back position again, because he's a bruiser. You bang him up in the middle, you just pound it right up the middle with Montgomery over and over again because he's a mean runner. And then you bring in Gibbs with the speed, and then you blow him on the outside. That's just how it works.
And we do have a question from Donna that says, "Hi y'all, is it too late to go and grab a vet interior lineman as a free agent? Not enough urgency and organizational level for the window."
I'm sure there's guys out there, but I think they're comfortable with who they have. It's just this first game is a teaching moment for him. Tate Ratledge, this is his very first professional football game for the regular season. He's obviously going to make mistakes. And Graham Glasgow, he is a center, but Frank Ragnow was a leader. There's a difference. Glasgow's got to step up as the leader position and take control of that offensive line.
And going back to your comments there with Jahmyr Gibbs, Jahmyr Gibbs in that game was most effective when you had the ball thrown to him. Other than that, if you look at, we couldn't run the ball. We had 46 total rushing yards. And then we allowed 4 sacks. So that right there, those are 2 key numbers that just let you know that the offensive line really struggled, and that's where probably the majority of the problems were yesterday.
And the defensive line struggled, obviously, with not a lot of pressures on Love and no sacks.
We always talk about this. If you can get pressure on the opposing quarterback, what does that do? That creates turnovers, and the Lions feed off of that. And they also, on the offensive side, feed off of that play action. You can't run the ball. There goes the play action. Then you're one dimensional, and anybody can play that. Any defense can play against you when you're one dimensional like that.
100%.
Thank you, Donna, for your comment and question. Appreciate you. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you are not yet subscribed. Penalties, the Lions had 7 penalties of 40 yards. There was a couple in there that were kind of, don't do that. And then there was a couple in there that were like, come on now. Like, why is that a penalty?
The worst part about the penalties is the ones that affected us the most. They happen in crucial situations. That first punt where we punted it down, it went inside the 20, and there was an offsides penalty on the kicking team. And then we got moved back 5 yards, kicked it again. Oh, then it gets out to the 30, 35-yard line. Now the Packers have a lot better field position. It's a huge swing in momentum, just those 20, 30 yards of a difference that made. That can make or break games. You can't make mental errors like that in the crucial points of the game. Brian Branch getting the interception. Rock Ya-Sin had a holding penalty on a receiver that had nowhere near where the ball was going.
And a lot of times those plays like that interception could be a game momentum changer. Honestly, yesterday, I don't think that we really could have changed the momentum in that game the way that the offensive line was playing. But if you look at it, for example, in the Bills-Ravens game, Ravens were on a roll, and then Derrick Henry fumbled the ball, and then the Bills just took over. It was a huge shift from there. Those are the kind of plays that's why turnovers are so big, because they can change the momentum and the flow of a game just like that. It's changed just off of one thing. And then when you get that taken away from a ridiculous penalty, like you were saying, that could just kill everything, and that could kill the whole morale of the whole team at that point sometimes. So yeah, I think that Lions got some work to do this week to get ready for next week, and we'll see how Chicago is tonight in their season opener. And yeah, if they don't get it together, if they don't shore up that offensive line, we're going to be in trouble for sure.
I'll say this. Games are won and lost in the trenches, so the offense and defensive line, and in the turnover battle. Those are 2 huge factors in every game. You watch any football game out there, those 2 factors, usually the ones that are winning those battles are the ones that win the game.
Now, before we go, I want to briefly hit on the defensive line. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson struggled. But Statman, in your opinion, who else has to step up on that defensive line? Who's that guy you're looking at on the defensive line to step up and help out Hutch?
Marcus Davenport, the guy on the other side of Hutch.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't really see a whole lot from anybody else.
And Tyleik Williams is showing, bursts of talent. But we want to see what he can do too. His first-round pick.
Yep. Like we said, there's going to be some growing pains. Hopefully, they get the stuff fixed that they need to fix. And Perry's in the house. Says, "Yo, what's up, Perry?" How you feeling about the game last night, Perry? I want to wait. I want to see what he says before we get out of here, since he got in here a little late.
He's going to make us wait 5 minutes.
While we're waiting for Perry, I just want to get his thoughts on the game. I want to thank everybody again. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Give us a shout out. Give us a follow. Perry says it was an insanely great game. I don't think we're talking about the same game.
Well, you said last night, so he's
I
thinking
did.
you're talking
I
about
did.
Ravens
Oh,
Bills.
Yeah. I'm talking about the Lions game, Perry. Yeah, the Ravens Bills game was awesome. I'm glad I stayed up to finish it.
Josh Allen got me 52 points in my fantasy.
Yeah, he did.
But the rest of my team didn't do anything.
I was happy that Marvin Harrison got some points. I was a little worried about him, but he seemed to get the ball more this game. So he said Lions look like a different team altogether. That's what Perry said. Yeah, they did. They got a lot to work on.
They'll get it back on track. I have faith in Campbell. I have faith in the organization, and I know they'll get it back on track. We'll get a win in Chicago next week, and everybody be all back on the bandwagon.
Yeah, and we will be back with you guys on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, for our NFL Pick'em show. We pick the games for the whole week, pick who's going to win and lose, who we think. We pick our lock of the week and our what was the other one we said? Our I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. This is what happens when you hit 40, you just forget shit. Like easy. 7 p.m. Shoot, my bad. I'll be there on next time. Yeah, we switched it, Perry. We switched it to a little earlier. Started at 7 instead of 7:30. But so it'll be 7 p.m. from here on out. So join us on Wednesday for our Pick'em show. We're gonna recap our scores, and then we'll be back again on Saturday for the pregame. Can't wait to see you guys there. Statman, final thoughts.
Final thoughts is don't give up. I'm being a fan of the Lions. We'll get it together. You got to trust in the blue. You got to trust in the silver. We got this.
We do. Hey, on behalf of myself and the Statman, we appreciate all you guys watching tonight. We will see you guys Wednesday at 7 p.m. Till then, have a good night.
One pride.
One pride.